What's up, guys? So what we're going to do is go through a couple more OCA practice questions. Welcome to episode 3 of the OCA Road to the OCA exam test video series. So what we're going to do here is go over a couple of our video questions here on the OCA exam practice website here. I'm going to put the link in the description down below this video, and so that way you can look at these questions also. And we're just going to spend about 15 minutes or so, maybe a little bit less than that, going over some questions. And I'm still looking for a job. I'm still looking for a permanent role. I have put myself out there as a freelance Java developer, so I'm looking for contracted positions. But I would love to have a full-time position as a Java developer. Okay, and so I do have experience, and that's what I'm doing these. That's why I'm taking the OCA exam, is so I can show my proficiency with the Java language. Even though I am making a career transition, I believe I'll be able to make a good impact with any job or any company that I end up going to. So with that being said, we're going to look at a couple of these questions on my other screen here, and let's just get to it. And like I said, nobody's perfect. So some of these questions are tricky, but we're just going to do our best. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning here where I'm at, and I'm just getting a late night study session. I wanted to make sure I held myself accountable for these videos. So let's get to it. So, okay, so I see this one. I've already seen this one, so we're going to skip this. Okay, we can go over it. It says, which of the following lines of code will compile without warning or error? I'm not going to go over this one because this one's pretty easy. This one doesn't compile because, you know, it's in double quotes instead of single quotes. This one needs a lowercase f back there to compile correctly. This one's an int. Okay, this one's fine. This one's too big to fit inside of a byte because it only goes up to positive 128. And this is perfectly fine, so this one compiles. So the answer is C and E. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so I've already seen that one before, so let's look at some of these other ones. So it says, which of the following will return the position of the first letter A where the string S contains banana? Okay, which of the following will return the position of the first letter? Oh, the first letter A within the string where the string S contains banana. Okay, so let's see. So the first A, so we're looking at index 0 and 1. So Java's 0 index when it comes to arrays. So this is index 1. So whatever answer we choose should include index 1. So s.index of A. Okay, which of the following will return the position? Okay, so it's looking for a method that will return the position of the first letter A. So index of SV, so it's trying to access it like a hash map where it's the key and then a value pair. I don't believe this is correct, so we're gonna skip. So we're gonna rule that one out. So we have 3 answers left. S.character at 2. Okay, so I believe C is applicable because it says the character at 2. Now when you enter it into this method, I believe that it doesn't count it as 0 index, so 0, 1. So this is actually the second character in the string. So I'm going to say C is one of the correct answers. Okay, and so it says return the position. Oh, on second thought, it has to return the position. This is going to return the letter A, but it's not going to return the position. So s.index of A. So this one should be okay. Okay. So and then we have so B should be correct actually. And then we have last index of 2S. Okay, so this wouldn't. So I believe the answer is B. The answer is B. This is going to return the last index, supposedly. So I believe it's B, and the answer is B. Cool. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, and if anybody has any questions or has an input, you can put it in the comments if you're watching this. This is only episode 3, so we're just getting started. And it's 1 o'clock in the morning here, so we're just going to try and do these to the best of our ability with a tired mind and a hungry programming heart. So it says, given the following code, which expression displays the word equal? Okay, So it's saying, given the following code, which expression displays the word equal? So we have string s1 equals Java, string s2 equals lowercase java, if expression. So this says expression here, right? So it says expression. I'm assuming that, let's see what we got here. So, okay, so it's saying which one of these expressions down here, when put inside of this if statement, will provide the correct answer, will print out equal. So what we're basically looking for is which one of these is going to evaluate the true, right? Because this is supposed to be a conditional statement inside of an if statement that says, if this is true, do this. If it's not true, do something else, you know. And in this case, the else statement will execute. So we have S1 is equal to S2. So this is going to be reference equality with a double equal sign, which is going to be demonstrated as being false. So this would not print out equal, right? Because these S2 and S1 are not equal to each other. They're pointing to two different objects in space. So now we have S1.match case S2. This would not be correct also because these two do not have the similar case. S1.equals so S1.equals ignore case S2. Okay, given which expression? Okay, so it says expression singular. So some of these questions do have parts where there's more than one answer that's correct. In this regard, you know, I see S1.ignore case S2 dot equals ignore case S2. So let's see. So dot equals. Okay, so let's see. I believe the correct answer would be C. It has this method called ignore case. It doesn't dot equal S2 because there is that casing difference there. Let's go with C. I'm going to go with C. Bam. Okay, C is correct. Cool. Alright, and so we're going to go to question 5. So, and just to reiterate, the reason why this one's correct is because it has this ignore case. Now, if both of these had a capital J, then dot equals be perfectly fine because these is object equality. They're the same exact object. S1's pointing to the same one as S2 is. They're both pointing to the same. If you could draw it on a piece of paper, that's what it would present. So let's see what we got here. So it says, which of the following expressions will evaluate to 7? Okay, so it's sort of like in algebra where the parentheses are evaluated and then the multiplication is evaluated. So let's see which ones. So just by the way this question is phrased, I believe multiple answers will be correct in this instance. So let's see. So we have 2 plus 4. Okay, so in Java, the multiplication takes precedence over the addition of subtraction operators. So this would happen first. So 12 minus 7, right, which would be 5, and then plus 2. So this would be 12 minus 7, which would equal 5, and then plus 2. So A is correct. Then we have 2 plus 4, which is 6. So 6 times 4. We know that's way more than 7. Because it's going to add these two together, right? It's going to do what's inside the parentheses over the multiplication. So it's going to be 4 times 6, which is not going to be 7. Okay. So then we're going to do this one here. So 4 times 3. This is actually the same exact thing that's going on up here. So just at a glance, this is going to be 7 also. So A and C are correct so far. And then we have this one down here that looks kind of funky, but once again, the parentheses take precedence over the multiplication. So we have 6 times 3, which is 18, then minus 11. So it looks like A and C are correct here. Cool. So A and C are correct. Bam. Alright, let's go to the next one. Okay, so we're on a roll right now. This is really cool. So let's just keep on going. So which of the following statements will compile without an error? Okay, so this is int myArray. Okay. So let's see. Okay, so let's see what we got here. So which of the following will come? So I'm assuming that more than one of these answers is going to be correct here. So we have int myArray, and then they're initializing this array here, this array object. So I believe D is correct. I know I didn't start from the top, but I just this one kind of caught my eye. Int myArray, and then they initialize this array with the curly braces and 1 2 3 4 5. This is perfectly fine. Now this one is int myArray of 5. You're establishing the size of the array. Then you have 1 2 3 4 5. Now I believe this one is also correct. Now when you create an array, you have to set the size of that array. Okay, so let's see. So I believe these two are correct. I believe C and D are already correct. Okay, we have int myArray 5 equals 5, and then he fills it with 5. This is okay too. Now int myArray 5, I believe this is okay too. So I believe B, C, and D is correct, and A is not correct because it doesn't establish a size. So let's see what we got here. Okay, so it looks like A and D are correct. So I got this one wrong. Let's see if it gives an explanation. So the new, yeah, you have to have the new keyword. So it looks like A and D are correct. Okay, so int myArray, okay, so that's fine, and then this is okay. This is incorrect, I guess because it establishes the size, but then it doesn't. Well, these two are just incorrect. They're just plain incorrect. So it looks like they're incorrect because it doesn't correctly use the new keyword, right? After establishing that these are arrays. So let's go to the next one then. Okay, so it says which of the following statements can be used to determine if cat can be found in the list. So we can use array list. So this is a generic. So this list is only going to contain strings. We created an array list object. So we're going to do list.add dog, list.add cat, list.add frog. So which of the following statements can be used to determine if cat can be found in the list? So this should be okay here. Okay. All right. Index of 1. List.index of 1. So it's saying which of the following statements can be used to determine if cat can be found in the list. So can determine if cat is in the list. So list.contain, I believe list.contains the string method will be okay. And list.has object cat. This should work. These two should work. So I'm going to go with A and B here. A and C. It looks like I got this one incorrect here. So this one says list.index of cat. So I just figured that this is going to return a positive 1, I believe. It's going to state that this is inside of the index, inside of the list. But I didn't really necessarily think that this would be able to. Well, I guess it will. Okay, so it looks like A and C are correct. I said B and C. So I guess this is not a real method. Sometimes they throw in fake methods that seem like something you've seen before. So I guess this method doesn't exist, or else it would tell you that it has this object. I'm assuming. But list.contains cat and list.index of cat are the correct ones for determining if it can be found in the list. Alright, so we missed one, so let's go to the next one. Okay, so which of the following statements will compile? Int I equals j, int j equals 10. Okay, so we have while I is less than j. Okay, so this is going to be empty. Alright. Then it says while I. So this one's not going to compile because this is not you need a conditional statement here, a boolean, in other words, and this is not a boolean here. While I, this is also not a boolean, so this should not compile. Okay, and also this would create an infinite loop, so you don't want that. And then while I equals 12 does not equal 5. Okay, this would also create an infinite loop, but I don't think that would necessarily cause it. This is a boolean statement, so that's completely fine. I equals 12. While I equals 12 does not equal 5. So we'll continue to set it to 12. So I'm going to say A and D. A and D are correct here. Bam, A and D are correct. Okay, so bam, we got that right because they have conditional statements correctly. And this is going to create an infinite loop here, but that's not the point. So that's all the time we have here for today. We got 9 seconds left. Thank you so much. Once again, I am looking for a Java position and I'm studying for the OCA. I'm going to take it at the end of July. Thanks for being with me. Have a great night.